¿Puedo tener saludo para mi amigo? 1, 2, 3. Te amo, Josh. Sí. Uno tipo en español. Te llamo Josh. Uno tipo en inglés. Josh, we love you, por favor. En 3. 1, 2, 3.
And like that was a very like I saw him with his camera before he even came up to you. I whispered in your ear, like I whispered in your ear and said, Josh is walking up and he has a camera and he is vlogging you. Like just like be prepared. And literally and then Josh walks up shaking with his camera like
and the rest is on
and it's like all on video.
Holy come on. What's up, buddy? Is this happening right now live is this really right now live?
Stream live right now.
Oh my god.
Please
wait,
tell
is this
Facebook
streaming?
to be nice to me.
Oh my god,
Please.
it's not even my fault.
Just tell Facebook to be nice to me.
Listen, lay off.
Thank you. You heard that? Facebook, it's all good.
Chill out.
We love you.
Lay off, man. Alright,
I got $100 for you.
This is on
I was standing
YouTube.
there the entire time and everyone's like, oh yeah, maybe it happened off camera. Like, okay. We were all smiling, laughing. Like he did ask you to apologize, rightfully
he did.
so.
And I was ready. Like I wanted to, you know.
Well, we had talked about
exactly.
it.
And
you
he
did.
goes,
You took her
and
aside
I
you
and he goes,
apologized.
he leaned over. You know, we were talking aside. We had like a sidebar, and he goes, hey man, you don't need to say sorry to me, but you know, I really need you to say sorry to Paige. And I was like, yeah, dude, absolutely, like. I want to say sorry to Paige, you know, and that was it.
And that was your demeanor too. Like I mean,
but that
I have no reason to like change the way the story was. I mean, it was actually a really nice moment. Like we left the entire encounter.
I was stoked actually because
we exchanged phone, like Paige and
dude,
I exchanged numbers. Like we were all like, let's grab, and we've hung out many times
and.
That.
That was the thing that kind of
bugged today. He didn't know us.
That's what bugged me about it was that he's like, "Oh, we weren't friends. We didn't hang out."
And it's delusional because I'm like, bro, it's like we worked at Coffee Bean when we were 16. Like, I'm sorry, I'm 31 now. I might have lost your number.
At your Christmas party, the party that I made treats for everyone. He came to your album release party when you were on Splash. He came to be on TV to support you. So
no, he wasn't on TV.
Oh no?
No. He wasn't on Splash.
Oh no. Because like I've had multiple dinners with him. So it's really interesting that like
he's been to the house and you know. All that.
Are you guys like not friends?
Not really. No. Drake and I didn't stay in touch for the 10 years since we had made the show. But no one needed to know
that. And that brings you to the wedding.
Cut to, I'm getting married that night, and I see these text messages from him, like cursing me out, coming for me. I'm like, on the night of my wedding.
That's why
that's why I was bummed.
That's why it wasn't as
shocking
as he makes it sound like you guys never
talked, and it came out of the blue, and it just that's the thing. He was saying like it came out of the blue, and I hadn't talked to Drake in did he say years?
I hadn't really talked to him in many years.
Honestly,
I mean, because I was texting him congratulations on getting engaged to Paige, and you know, we'd spent so much time with them, like at Michael's house, and I don't know, it was just strange. I mean, look, I said some tardy things, but I was bummed, dude. You know, I don't know, I was bummed. I was like, man, that sucks. Like, I wish I could have been there for you. And I think really what it was like why I said what I said was because like Josh and I have always had like our ups and downs and all this stuff. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because we were kids and we had our own demons, and we had, you know, I mean, the stuff that, I mean, the stuff
I was going to say, I mean, you're reading Josh's book now. Like, there's so much you didn't even know he was going through, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, exactly.
So
and
it's
so,
like,
so we were going through a lot, you know? So we've had our ups and downs. We've had times when we've been friends. We've had times when we want to like kill each other, you know? But it's being brother. It's like, we were like brothers. We were together more. Honestly, I know Josh, and I'm closer to Josh than I am to my own brothers.
yeah.
Like, I don't,
Because you guys spent so,
I don't know my own brothers as
13
well as
hours
I
a
know
day?
Josh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I see my brothers, what, a couple times a year, if that, you know? And even when I was growing up with my brothers, you know, I was the youngest. And so I didn't hang out with my brothers. They weren't in the house. They were, by the time you know. So he was my bro, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was just, that's why when he didn't invite me to the wedding,
You were bummed.
I was just bummed.
Yeah.
Because that almost solidified this, like, it was like, it ended the roller, it was like, oh, we're friends, we're not friends, we're friends. It was like, she loves me not.
Yeah.
She loves me not.
You had
and then
hope.
But I pulled the pedal on, she loves me not.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a bummer. And that was like, you know, he's my bro, and I don't know, maybe I haven't always like been the best friend to him. But also I didn't realize what kind of things he was going through, you know, after reading this book. Because I mean, you got to understand, when we got together, I was ecstatic. Like, well, all right, not at first. At first, I was a little bummed because he was like a new boy on the Amanda Show, and I was like, hey, that's my spot. Like, but then I started seeing him do stuff, and just offset, he was so funny. I don't think that I'm gonna tweet and it's gonna make
trend all the time.
It's gonna trend and go all this. So I just kind of did it because I was bummed,
Well,
and I wanted people to know.
I mean, I could tell
You know?
you exactly where your headspace was before you tweeted that.
Where was it?
We were on the couch. So we saw a picture. I think it was either of David or John Stamos at the wedding. And you were just so bummed because you're like, those are new friends. Like, I've been your friend for so long. And
I guess that's also what hurt me
think you
today.
really
was like when
got
he said that we
bummed.
weren't friends after the show or during the show, or like, he's like, when it ended, it was like summer camp. I'm like, dude,
that's like
you
not
always
true.
I,
Like,
I
you
invited you to
literally
all my
came-
parties to my house. I came. We hung out
That's not
together. We've
true.
gone to dinners together. I mean, I mean, Michael, who I wrote the theme song with, I mean, he was at Michael's all the time. We would hang out there. I mean, Josh was hanging out at his place all the time. And
I mean, I've
I don't
seen
know,
him there
man.
multiple times.
I know, and I don't know. That was just a weird thing. Of saying that we weren't friends.
I think that bummed me out today too, just because it's just like a straight lie to the fandom to say that you guys haven't talked or hung out.
Yeah. I mean, if we haven't talked and hung out, I mean, we pitched a show.
Yeah, what can you tell us about the reboot?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if I wouldn't call it a reboot. I think it's just an opportunity for Drake and I to be working together again. And obviously we love each other and we were able to make such an impact on people. So any chance to do something dope together is really exciting for me.
Okay, well, let's talk about that, actually. We did pitch a show.
Yeah.
We pitched a Drake and Josh reboot show called
Josh and Drake. Brilliant name, by the way.
Absolutely
It
brilliant.
was great.
The premise was pretty bizarre for me.
You know, I asked him to change some things in the show, and they were just so stickler that they weren't going to change them. And
Not only that, there was a lot to it. I mean, he wanted you to be an actor, and he wanted to be writer, producer, executive producer. Like, That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean that could have. I mean that could have been, handled later. Through negotiations or whatever. But to approach it that way, Well, no, let's talk about how it came about. Josh came over and he had written a script.
Yeah.
And
for not his friend Drake.
Yeah, for not his friend Drake.
I know you're gonna be nice, but I'm not. So.
But these things. When you write a script and then you pitch it and then you change, I mean, things change, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I read the script and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Cause like
it made you not look the best either.
Not me. I mean,
or anyone.
Yeah, it didn't make me
great.
Look the best, but that's. I mean, I whatever. But it was just the way it. I just have a lot of fans in Mexico, and
we're getting into it.
I asked him to change a couple things, and he couldn't, and then and my wife wouldn't let me do it.
So I think something that Josh doesn't know is why we ended up pulling out from the reboot.
I mean, he's got to know.
We've told his, who was it, his assistant or his
manager.
Agent or manager or his best friend Len. We told someone that we just change it to any other country.
Not another country. No.
We want to make it a country that. Oh, that's what it was. Make it a country that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I was like, make some funny made up country where I land and it's like
Well, first of all, this Josh and Drake reboot, the idea could have been really great. The problem is that Josh wrote Drake as a failed musician, and Josh wrote himself as a real estate agent. So, okay, that's fine, but Drake is a musician in real life, so it just it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I was like, why would I play him?
And I'm like, well, if you're gonna
I guess we're
you're not.
Yeah, I was like, but we're playing ourselves.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be playing ourselves, and I get that. So you're making he totally parodied my actual life.
Yeah, not only
but,
I don't want to say parodied, he was making fun of your life. Like he was saying,
he's never been to he's never experienced what we do around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't been to all these other countries and seen the concerts and he, so.
Yeah. No, he has to always have someone else give him a job. So, so he doesn't understand that. So, okay, so going back to you playing these shows in Mexico and the Mexican fans and actually knowing what Mexico's like and actually knowing the Latin culture, actually spending time with these people, getting to know them, learning as much as you can.
Having half of my family be...
Oh, yeah. Well, and that too. So I have a little bit of a producer background and a little bit of a talent background. So reading scripts, I've read a good amount of them. So when I read this one, there's red flags.
Yeah.
There's a ton of red flags.
Yeah.
And also you have to remember too,
I was surprised we pitched it that way. I was like, but anyway.
Maybe that's why nobody cared. Because Hulu wanted it, kinda, but then, I just know that if there was a good Drake and Josh reboot, that everyone would have been all over it.
Yeah.
The script was just not where it needed to be, and there was
Josh, he insisted on writing it, and I mean, he's a good writer. That's nothing against him, but it had to be written by him.
He's not. The script is not good. You can say whatever you want.
Good, but...
The script is not good. Maybe he's a good writer. I don't know. I'm not going to read the book. You read it for me. But the problem with the script is right now it's 2022. The Latin culture, and especially the Mexican fans, are sick of the way Americans portray them in movies. It's always cartel. It's always guns.
Always drugs.
It's always
guns.
drugs. It's always, it's just.
It's always like dirt, like villages.
Dirty. And we actually work with an incredible team there that's based in Mexico City, that we, all different kinds of talents, from, you know, graphic designers to writers to musicians. I mean, we work with people daily.
It's our worlds down there.
So we get to hear their feedback of, you know, the things that are made about their country, and they're sick of this sepia tone. They're sick of things looking and feeling sad and scary. Like the fact that, I mean, this is ridiculous, but the fact that every time we go tour in Mexico, people are like, "Oh, is it safe?
Is it safe?
Are you guys gonna be safe? Are you guys gonna be okay?" And it's like, obviously our media and obviously things have, and of course there's dangerous parts everywhere. You go 2 streets down from where we are, it's going to be dangerous. You know what I mean? It's like, be smart, be safe, but like,
but I think, you know, it's like,
it's just, it's the way.
So get to, you know, the what was written, you know, the way it was written, there were some things in there that basically, it was just so stereotypical.
We can just read some.
Do you want to read some?
Yeah, I mean, I told them on my Instagram live today that I would read some.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna read some.
I have an email from Josh Peck, sent January 30th of 2019.
Okay.
Okay.
When we weren't friends, or when we were friends?
2019. That was
Was it before did we do Grandfathered first?
Oh yeah, you went on his show because they needed you to.
No, that was cool. That was cool. I that's the thing. Anytime that I can get back together with Josh, it's like it's magic, dude. It's like so rad. And you know, the thing that I thought when he was done with the show, we didn't decide to split. He really wanted to be and I mean, he says this in the book, you know, and he wanted to be, I mean, I don't want to say he wanted to be, because he was, you know, he was like moving more towards dramatic acting. He's a great actor, you know, and he was wanting to kind of shed the Drake and Josh skin. He didn't want to be anywhere near it,
like,
you know.
Go into music right away though too?
No, I was doing music the whole time. But I mean, I just continued, Yeah, because I had already been making records. I wrote the theme song. I did all the music for the show. And then we...
That must have been hard for him.
I mean, I didn't know. I wouldn't think that.
No, you were a teenager. Why would you consider another boy's feelings? I mean, you're not going to. But
well,
looking back on it, like... I'm going to read the script. You were trying to get me to not do this. But before I get into this, what I'm going to say is that Josh hates Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
It's very obvious that he has
I didn't realize that too. The first
hard time discussing it, remembering it, and of course
the first time that I realized that really was when I read the script. I didn't know he hated the show so much.
Well, I didn't well, okay. So, you guys have a trademark saying, right?
Yeah.
What is that?
Hug me, brother.
Okay. Would you say that's like what every fan says to you when they meet you?
I mean, that, or like, whoa, take it easy, man.
So would you say, like, you know, it would really hurt a fan's feelings if you said, I didn't say it, hug yourself, F-head?
So there's the opening scene where, you know, Josh is he's a real estate agent, and he goes in and he is dressing a house and getting it ready, and
the people who go to buy the house, they recognize him, and
they're like, hey, aren't you that guy from Drake and Josh?
Yeah.
And then he goes, hug me, brother. And then Josh gets in the car and goes,
hug yourself, F-head. And that alone,
that was the first thing that I was like, we can't open our show like that.
First red flag, because you just said F you to the entire Drake
audience,
and Josh fan base.
Yeah.
But then we go into Mexico right after that.
Yeah.
Right after that line.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So
oh, wow.
Hug yourself, F-head, and then it goes to and then opening of the show, Josh and Drake. Then immediately
Such a good title.
Open the show, we're in Mexico. Drake performs at a quinceañera, a Latin celebration of a girl's 15th birthday. It's not your typical 15. This newly 15-year-old Elena is the daughter of the biggest drug kingpin in Mexico. Really? Her father, Enrique, the head of the cartel, sits in the middle of the party at a table surrounded by guards and beautiful women. Really? Think Escobar, Chapo. Drake is on stage backed by a mariachi band while the birthday girl watches the girlfriends in the front row. People drink copious amounts of alcohol. Oh, and this is my favorite part. And ingest other illicit substances at a 15-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah,
okay,
like that, because that's what they do there, right?
Well,
I mean,
I can tell
and
you
that's
all
how
about,
we should represent.
But tell you all about my 15. We were in pink dresses. I mean, some of the girls definitely snuck in some alcohol, but no illicit.
Oh,
drugs.
I mean, come on, that's a normal thing.
Okay.
It's not a quinceañera without the boys sneaking in alcohol.
Drake finishes singing the theme song to Drake and Josh, in parentheses, I found a way, and gets a big round of applause. And then you say, "Give it up for the birthday girl." And
yeah, I mean that.
Okay, so here's
so
the thing.
that's
so
what
then,
it was. Is
so
right
then
when
you,
right when I read that, I was like, man, I can't.
We can't do that.
Represent.
But it gets worse. So then they go into a gunfight, and then they don't want to pay Drake, which is also another terrible stereotype.
Yeah.
And then they don't pay him. He gets stuck in Mexico. He doesn't have any money, which is weird. Why is he performing a show? And okay, because he didn't get paid, but he doesn't have any money at all. So Josh has Drake stuck in Mexico, has him tweet, "I need money," or "I need to do a meet and greet for money," and only has like 3 people show up to the mall for the meet and greet so that Drake could get money back to the United States.
I mean, which is a direct, which is a direct.
Well,
like,
it's just a direct insult on what
What
we've
I've
been
built.
building in Mexico for years.
What I've
that
worked
he has
on and
no idea
cultivated
what
and-
we've been doing, but that's
Yeah.
fine. I just want to know
'Cause,
why
like,
was
could
he
you-
a real estate agent and you were a failed musician? Like, why wasn't he a failed YouTube star or Viner? And then you could be like, why wasn't it something like closer to
I don't know.
maybe,
I
like,
told him, I was like,
you
dude,
know?
make me a failed actor in New York, like,
Yeah.
and I'm sleeping on your couch, and you're like trying to be an actor too, or something, like.
But honestly, the Mexico depiction is literally just the tip of the iceberg for me. There was so many red flags, like as your business partner, as your producer, your love also. Like, I'm not gonna allow. I mean, our son is like, he's half Paraguayan.
I know.
Like he, you know, his abuela speaks to him in Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna be speaking Spanish at home. Like, he's gonna be learning about his culture. And for people that are in the movie business, like, we have to be the change that we want to see. And like, I wasn't gonna let you do that script,
No.
and you weren't gonna let yourself do
No
it anyway.
way.
So I totally
No
yokoed
way.
that situation. But you know what? It was for the better good, because we learned today that Josh, you know, maybe tells better stories in his head than he does on paper, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, like, you care about the fans.
¡Hermano! ¡Hermano!
¡No lo creo! ¡Josh Peck está en el estudio!
Sí puedo estar en la nueva serie de Drake y Josh, ¿no? Sí. Somos los nuevos y los viejos no.